Now, what is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei, and welcome to the Enter the Dojo podcast, your source for every freaking thing, man. This is Fight for Friday because Friday is my day. Please keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, please talk to me nice. And I'm just here to talk about just being able to fight through the rough days, man. Fighting through those days where like you just do not feel it, and everyone has those. I mean, there will be days where you just wake up. Or not even just like, you'll be in bed, you'll be up, and you'll just be sitting there looking at the ceiling like, why am I going to go for whatever I'm going for today? Why am I still doing this? Why am I still doing that? And it happens. I mean, it's not a thing that is unavoidable. Like, it gets frustrating, especially on those days, just because it's like, you know that they're going to come, but you just never know when. And even when they do come, it's such a freaking grind to try to get through it. One of the things that I've started to do is just like, honestly, just start recording. I mean, if I can't sleep or if it's like a day where it's just like, oh my God, why is today happening? Like, why am I getting up for today? Whatever it is, just do whatever you enjoy and something that's like fun enough to get you out of bed. You know what I mean? Whether that's cooking, whether that's a little bit like a little short gaming session, like 10, 15 minutes, or watching something that you really like on TV or whatever it is, just something to get that little like bit of pep in your step. I mean, I'm sure there's other like little like supplements and things like that. I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff for the simple fact that you become like dependent on that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you should be like, oh, well, every day I'm going to get this whatever, like 5-hour energy shot or Bang Energy or Monster, whatever it is. Like, I'm not a fan. Like, I've had those things before. Like, if I'm like tired on a road trip, or if when I do like big tournaments, like if it's sponsored by Red Bull or Monster or whatever it is, I'll have that on the side, take little sips just to keep, just like to keep me loose, just to keep me relaxed, and not really relaxed, but just to keep the energy up. Like, especially when you're doing like a tournament, sometimes you're on the mic for 4 or 5 hours. And that does get kind of tiring, so you need that little extra little boost of energy here and there. But I'm not a person that is dependent on that kind of stuff. Like, I know some people that drink that stuff like it's freaking water. Like, they drink it every single day, 2 and 3 a day. And that's really, it's bad for the body, bad for the liver, bad for the heart, you know what I mean? And it's, in long term, in that much excess is very detrimental to your body. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just finding that extra little something to get you out of bed. You know what I mean? I think like one of the things that I've been doing is like listening to some like great speakers like Les Brown, speakers like Tony Robbins, speakers like Eric Thomas, and even going back to one of my old mentors, Mr. Taylor. He's an immaculate speaker. Honestly, one of the, like, this is like, I mentioned this on another episode, but he's one of those guys that was like an outstanding speaker. And I think if he would have had the backing like a Les Brown or like a Eric Thomas, or just understood the platform of social media and things like that, I wonder how different his life would have been. I'm sure he lives a wonderful life, but as impactful and as eloquent and as elegant his speeches were, but like, get back to the topic. Come on, Sensei. But anyway, listening to guys like that, and sorry, that was my alarm, and I am not about to edit that out because your boy has his moments. Anyway, so that's another thing. So having like your alarms, I have like 9,000 freaking alarms on my phone. Some of which I oversleep to, some of which wake me up, but whatever it is that you need. I mean, if it's a meal, if it's a show, if it's getting up and going for a run or whatever it is, I mean, just find that. I think oftentimes like we get into this thing of like, okay, well, if I want to accomplish my goals or whatever it is, like I'm going to wake up every single day and I'm going to be motivated. I'm going to be so this, I'm going to be so that. And that's not the case. I mean, you're going to have your days where you're just on. Like, where you're super on. Like, when I was doing one of the music videos, we had, like, 3 fight scenes in a day. And the entire group of us, it was about, 5 of us, we were all on that day. No one missed a beat. No one missed a step. Even if there were, like, slight mistakes being made, they were covered up quickly. Everyone kept rolling with the punches. Never had to cut when we were shooting on the day and things like that. And those days are amazing, but then you're also going to have days where it's like, okay, nothing's working. The choreography is not that good, or the choreography is not selling. You're not feeling it. You're messing up. You're slipping. Whatever it is, like and it gets frustrating. But you have to sometimes just reset and find the good of it, or reset and then just find the enjoyment of that process again. You know what I mean? Like, because you're gonna have those days where it feels like, okay, literally not a single thing is going right. Today is just not my day, and those days happen. And sometimes you just need to take a break, take a second, step away, and just reassess what's going on. Because when you do that, it's gonna help you understand that, look, there are going to be times where I feel like absolute crap. I'm never going to be 100% motivated 100% of the time. I do not care who you are. I know tons of fitness professionals who will be like, look, I literally sat in my car for however long and my job is to work out. I sat in the car for 10 minutes, not wanting to work out, not wanting to do this or whatever. Shoot, I even have days where, like, I'm supposed to record. I'll have like 4 episodes planned out. And I was just sitting there looking at the freaking list of episodes. Like, do I really want to get on the mic and talk for however long? I'm like, dude, like, do I even like the sound of my own voice type of thing? You know what I mean? So, like, those doubts and those days where you kind of ho-hum through the day and stuff, like, you're going to have those feelings. Like, so you are not alone if you've ever woken up, whether it could be a Friday, it could be a Monday, it could be a set, whatever it is, where you just woken up and you're like, man, what the hell is the point of today? But sometimes you just got to get up. Well, not sometimes, but all the time. You got to get up and just fight through that. You know what I mean? Fight through the tough days, because the tough days are what really build you. The difficult times are what really build you. And it's... and I think it's rewarding. Like, once you get to that point where you understand that you can manage the hard days the best that you can, and then when those easy days and those amazing days come, you flourish. Like, when those easy days come, and not easy days. I don't know if I can use a better term, but just those days where you're flowing. Like, those days of flow where, like, everything is going right. Where, whether it's you are a dancer and you're learning the choreography super quick, your other dancers are picking it up well. If you're a singer and you're hitting all the notes right. If you're an artist and the painting that you did comes out first try perfectly the way you want it. You don't even have to edit anything. Whatever that is, man, it's really, really important to relish those perfect days, but then still attack those bad days. Like, I can remember one day where I woke up and I was like dead. It was just one day where I was just like, man, like, why am I doing a podcast? Why am I pursuing stunts? Why am I doing whatever? And it was just a regular day. Nothing happened. I didn't get denied from nothing. No one told me my podcast was shit. People give me compliments on my podcast, and I'm thankful for that. But it was just one of those days where I just woke up and I was like, dude, what the fuck is the point of getting up today? Like, I just want to sit in the fucking bed, watch cartoons, eat chips, whatever. And I love me some chips, but you get the point. It's like everybody has those days. You'll have days like that. And there's some people that'll have worse days than that, where they're like, literally, there is no point. You know what I mean? Like, you're not even, it won't even be a question. It'll be like almost like a statement of fact to some people, where it's like, there's no point. I don't know why I've been doing this. I've been doing this for however long. I'm not going to keep going, blah, 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 blah. And some people give up on days like that, or weeks or months like that, where they just have that long stretch of frustration. And I'm just saying to say, like, find a way to fight through it. Whether it's implementing something new, obviously for my stunt people, maybe like learning a new skill or learning something else. Like, I've found like great stress release in riding horses and doing that once a week, just because it feels so therapeutic, but it's also a challenge. You know what I mean? It's not something that's like so easy that I can just get on and just ho hum and do whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's something that I really have to think through, but it's also something that is very rewarding. Like the little incremental building blocks of that I've learned. It's so much more rewarding, and it's become like my break. You know what I mean? So it's like weekend. It's like during the week, go hard, work, podcast, record, all this stuff, and then I go there to get that little release. So it could be something that you do every day. It could be something that you do every week, but something that just helps you get through the long grind of the week, and that becomes kind of like your reward for working and pushing so hard towards what you want. But yeah, man, I think the days where you just like don't feel it are some of the not necessarily best days, but some of the most important days, because it kind of shows you who you are. It shows you that even with all the issues and stuff like that, when it comes to lack of motivation, that you're strong enough to overcome it, and you're strong enough to really push through and push forward and maybe inspire others who see you pushing through and pushing forward towards your goals on days like that. But with that being said, man, this is a Fight for Friday, because Friday is my day. Shout out to everyone that has been showing me mad love on the Entity Dojo podcast, man. We are growing slowly but surely. Please follow me on Instagram at sensei_global21, international_sensei on Instagram. Wait, did I say Instagram or did I say Twitter? Okay, Twitter, sensei_global21. Instagram, international_sensei. Entity Dojo podcast is on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying. You know the vibes, and definitely the vibes know you. And I want to show you that the Entity Dojo podcast is your source for all things positive, because I have a lot to give. Fight knowledge, and of course, fight reviews and all of that good stuff, man. Thank you so much. And we must now exit the dojo. Us.